of y'all? And welcome to the Hip Hop in the After Hours podcast.
Hey y'all, what up? It's your girl Platinum Beat, and welcome to another episode of Hip Hop in the After Hours. I hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's doing great. If you're new, welcome. If you're older listeners and day one listeners, welcome back. If this is your first time listening, I appreciate you so much. No matter how long you've been listening, thank you. Please make sure you share and subscribe to my podcast and download the episodes. I noticed that Apple has been getting notifications out for when people drop podcast episodes. I noticed with my favorite podcast I listen to, like The Breakfast Club. So if you guys would please subscribe and download my episode and share the podcast to help grow, I would really appreciate it. Don't forget, I put my episodes out every Monday, and for the Lil Wayne fans, I have a series on here called Weezy Mania for us to talk about Lil Wayne, everything Lil Wayne and Young Money, or if you just want to know why we love him so much, that's for you. Today's episode is going to be interesting. This is one of my ideas I've been talking about doing for a while. I've been kind of teasing y'all I have ideas. Well, this is one of them. I've been doing some research for the memory's sake, but just to make sure I got things right. Ringtones. Now, before I get into the fun part, let's go into a little history. Now, there's a couple types of ringtones we want to get into. Monophonic. If I'm saying it wrong, y'all, I'm sorry. I listen to talking computers. But anyway, this is basically a ringtone that only uses one note to play a melody. One note, mono. And this one started around in the 90s. And polyphonic is where you're able to play several notes and add synths to it. And this ringtone started in the early 2000s, according to a lot of sites I've been looking at. Then we have the true tone, real tone, master tone. And this is the best tone in my opinion. Basically, it's an audio like an MP3 format or the actual real tone of your favorite artist or band that plays in your phone for about 30 seconds. And the last one we're going to be talking about is the ringback tone. Ringback tone is when you call somebody and instead of hearing that weird buzzing noise that you hear when you call somebody, you hear the actual song of the ringtone instead, which to me was the dopest. But anyway, I'll get back into that. Now, for me, ringtones, I didn't get a phone until 2005, when I was in 5th grade. And I remember my mom and dad telling me that was only for emergencies. Yeah, that didn't last long. that didn't last long at all. I remember hearing people have ringtones and, well, I wanted them. And the phone that I had, I could only do so much with it, so I had to get a new phone. And I can't remember if someone gave me a phone that let me play ringtones or whatever it was. But on the phone that I had from my parents, it only had let me download polyphonic ringtones. And to me, like, as y'all know, I'm a producer, and to me, sound and audio quality, I'm very picky at that, and I was at that age. Well, I wanted the actual audio ringtone, so yeah, I got a different phone for that. And I think my first couple ringtones were, the first one I remember having, if I can remember right, 50 Cent in the Club, about 2005, yeah. Very interestingly enough, y'all, I have a really interesting memory, like when it comes to music and connecting stuff. I don't know what it is, but I can remember this really easily compared to anything else. But anyway, I'm going back to my memories here, right? That was my first ringtone I remember having. And then I remember a year later, a bunch of ringtones were coming out. A bunch of ringtones coming out. A bunch of songs were popping on the charts in hip-hop. And yes, this is ringtones and hip-hop go hand in hand. You'll understand in a second. Now, I explained to you some of my experiences, and I'm going to go back to that in a second. Now, there is this phrase I've heard for so many years now, and it's called ringtone rap. What exactly is ringtone rap? Well, it's basically artists that make songs for ringtones, because then you would make millions off these ringtones. I'm talking anybody who was my age around this time remembers Soulja Boy, Chameleonaires Riding, Party Like a Rock Star, Pop Lock and Drop It, all kinds of stuff, right? Well, this was the era where a lot of these artists were making money just off ringtones. And sadly, a lot of them were one-hit wonders. And I say sadly because some of these artists were really good. Ringtone rap went from about 2005 to, I would say, 2010. And that's the reason I'm mentioning this, because ringtone rap, ringtones and hip-hop, they go hand in hand. Now, my experience with this is so interesting. Now, like I said, I have been wanting to do this episode for a long time. I'm probably going to be one of those annoying people right now in 2024 who does have my phone on and who does have custom ringtones. I kid you not. My ringtone right now is Faith by the Weeknd, and then I have Lil Wayne saying Young Money on my iPad, and then Stranger Things Clock with Vecna saying It's Time on my phone. I kid you not. I'm probably one of those annoying people that does it, because I know from experience, my family, they have their phones turned off. My dad, he has his off sometimes, but a lot of times he has his on. But yeah, I'm probably one of those annoying people that has theirs on. Why? Well, I don't really mention this about my podcast because I want people to know me for more than just my blindness. But, sometimes I can't hide it. And this is one of those instances. Now, in the early to mid-2000s, before the iPhone came out, we were all using these flip phones, and, as a blind person, there was very limited things you can do on these phones. It wasn't like the iPhone right now where I can touch the screen and tap on an icon or download a game and play it. No. There was buttons and it didn't talk. Because, I use a lot of stuff that talks. That's why I mentioned my computers. But if I ever pronounce things wrong, that's why. I'm used to hearing it on my computer. Well, they didn't talk. So I couldn't do a lot of things on my own on my phone. I didn't mean to make that rhyme, by the way. So, while everyone was playing games and downloading ringtones and, I was able to text. Everyone was texting the same way, using a QWERTY keyboard, or even before using the, what did they call that, where you text with the ABC, DEF on the number pad. I don't remember what that was called. Everyone was doing that. I was with that one, and then moved on to QWERTY keyboard. Well, going back to the ringtone era, I could not download my own ringtones on my own. I had to ask family or friends to help me download ringtones. Very frustrating, right? So, when you get your own iPhone, and you're able to do so much, Well, the ringtone era by that time was over. Because again, ringtones went from 2005 to 2010. And they started dying out. Well, then you find apps that can help you make custom ringtones. You don't have to buy them. Because back then, you had to buy those things. So, the fact that I can actually either download a ringtone from iTunes before I found this app, and now I can make my own ringtones because I know how to edit my own audio and produce my own music and stuff. Well, now I have unlimited access to making text tones and ringtones. So, because I didn't really get that chance to, explore or be able to download so many unlimited ringtones like everybody else did at my school or, in the public or in general, I'm trying to enjoy that now. So that's why I always have my sounds on. And I hate turning my phone off. I remember my friend, so going back to my experiences, that's the reason, again, why I have my sounds and ringtones on, and why I have my own custom ringtones and text tones. But memories, y'all, this stuff brings back memories. So, I remember my friend had, I don't know if it was an iPhone, I don't know what it was, but she had both ringback tones and ringtones. And I can't remember if you had to, pay one time or a subscription for ringback tones, but I remember hers was Mario, How Do I Breathe, and then it was something else. And oh my god, y'all, I wanted a ringback tone so bad. I remember asking my mom, oh my god, I wanted those so bad. I don't think I could even get those on the phone that I had at that time. But I wanted a ringback tone so bad. I remember hearing, it was Mario, How Do I Breathe, and it was another ringtone. But, yeah, some of the ringtones I did have when my family did help me, download ringtones were stuff, like I said. 50 Cent was one of my first. Shoulder Lean by Young Joe. Anybody remember that one? Pop, Lock, and Drop It. What else? Tupac, Are You Still Down? I'm trying to go off memory here, y'all. I know I had a lot more. Pitbull, Hotel Room, and I think the last ringtone I had my family help me download until I was able to do it on my own was right when ringtones were at their peak and they were almost dying. 2009, Jay Sean down Lil Wayne. That was the last time my family had helped me buy a ringtone. Or download a ringtone. And then after that, I was on my own, and I learned how to do it on my own. Which, by the way, y'all, going back to Ringtone Rap, the artist who sold the most ringtone, and this is quite funny because Wayne, I gave it away. Lil Wayne's Lollipop with over 5 million ringtones sold. Lil Wayne is not a one-hit wonder. Not at all. This dude's a legend. A lot of these artists, and I hate to say this, because some of these artists are really good, and I actually bought some albums from them. Lil Wayne sold over 5 million ringtone downloads of Lollipop. That's crazy, y'all. Ringtone Rap was literally artists making songs just for ringtone sales. Because then, those were the thing. Those were hot. Everybody had them. And there was even a Billboard chart for them. Really crazy to remember all this. But, yeah, that was the last ringtone I had. And Lil Wayne sold over 5 million ringtones. And oh no, I remember another ringtone I had. Party Like a Rock Star. Remember that one, y'all? By the Shop Boys? I remember having that one too. Pop, Lock, and Drop It. I had quite a few. But it was a cool era. It was a real fun time, but I wasn't able to do it on my own, which really sucked. There is a lot that goes into, ringtone rap, like, do you remember if you used to watch BET and you would watch 106 in Park or even MTV? There was this commercial where they would play like Lil Wayne's Lollipop or Soulja Boy Get Silly or whatever ringtone was popular or whatever song or ringtone was popular around that time. Well, I remember watching commercials on BET and MTV because I used to watch 106 in Park. That was my favorite out of all of them because it was all hip hop and R&B. But anyway, there used to be a number you can call or sometimes you can text. It would say call #234 and then listen to the ringtone and press 1 and it'll send it to your phone and you can download it. And it was really similar with text. You text Lil Wayne to 444 and you can download Lil Wayne's Lollipop to your phone. Yeah, I miss that. That was cool. But I remember actually calling just to hear the ringtones. Even though I couldn't, it wouldn't let me I could not download them on my own because my phone wasn't talking around that time. I didn't have a phone with accessibility features, around that time that didn't even exist, that I know of. So I literally would just call just to hear the ringtones. I was very weird. I was very weird back then. But it was still fun. Now I can just I can make my own ringtones, like I said, I have a bunch of ringtones I actually have created on my own off albums that I've downloaded, or off MP3s that I'll put into my phone, like off Wayne's mixtapes and other things. But yeah, that's why I really love ringtones on my phone, because I didn't really get that opportunity back then. Nobody's fault. It's just how things were back then. And ringtone rap, the reason I'm even mentioning this on a hip-hop podcast is because hip-hop was dominating ringtones. Like, I don't think I remember hearing hardly any. I'm sure there was. I promise I'm not hating. I don't remember hearing a lot of country ringtones or rock or whatever. I know they were out there because I could do a search on the iTunes store for them. But when I was hearing phones go off, or when they were advertised, it was all hip-hop. Chain Hang Low by Jibbs. And you already remember that song? I was obsessed with that song. I remember wanting to hear it over and over and over again. I think I made my family sick with that song. But, yeah, that's ringtones and hip-hop, they go hand in hand because that's how hip-hop was making money then. With Lil Jon's Snap Your Fingers, T-Pain's Buy You a Drink. I mean, I can go on and on and on. This is how hip-hop was going at this time. This is why they call it ringtone rap. And a lot of hate. There's a lot of hate for it. And it's sad because it is part of history, obviously I grew up in this era, and I grew up in the Lil Wayne mixtape era, and, all this stuff. So when he was, so I love it. I absolutely love it. I have so many memories and experiences, as you can tell. And another reason, going back to my reasoning for ringtones, that I really like having ringtones on my phone now, customized, is for one, the ringtones that you hear and notifications that you hear on your iPhone are just boring. Come on, y'all, they're just boring. If you, like, turn your phone on, like, turn the sounds on and play with your ringtones, they're boring. Another reason is to be different. You know, everybody has their phones off. Sure, maybe it'll interrupt people, but maybe it'll gain me a friend or something, you know? New friend. Hey, I like that song too. Well, now we're friends. But anyway, you know, I like it because it makes me different. Nobody else has ringtones? Well, fine. I'll have ringtones in. And they're customized. Nobody else has Faith. I looked up Faith on iTunes ringtone store. Nothing there by the weekend. There is a lot of Stranger Things clocks and, you know, Vecna, but the quality is really, really, really bad. Compared to mine, yeah, I think mine's way better. But yeah, that's another reason. But hip-hop was like the biggest moneymaker when it came to ringtones. Ringtones and hip-hop. Like I said, I don't know, like, obviously I listen to hip-hop, so I really wouldn't know how popular country music are. But from what I was reading on a lot of these websites, the Billboard charts, it was all hip-hop dominating. Like, it wasn't just a few hip-hop songs here and there, no. It was mostly, if not all, hip-hop ringtones. And the ringtone era was just really something interesting. And then it started dying out. Everyone thinks because of the iPhone. Maybe so. I honestly think it just started dying out just because, you know, I really don't know. To be honest with y'all, I don't know, to be real. I wish they'd make a comeback because they're just awesome. Making my own ringtones is awesome. But you know, there's a connection I'm seeing here. You're asking, well, what connection is that? Well, ringtones are gone. Nobody uses ringtones anymore. You're right. But remember when I told y'all people were making ringtones specifically for or they were making songs specifically for ringtones. Let me put that back there. Well, we have this little app called TikTok. And for a few years now, I've noticed that there's been TikTok stars and TikTok artists. And these artists are making songs just for TikTok. Do you see the connection there? Ringtone Rap and the ringtone era started that. And like I said, a lot of memories, a lot of great experiences, and like I said, I have my own custom ringtones on my phone. But this is an episode I wanted to do for a long time. I don't know. Do you guys have any, if you were around this time, did you guys have any ringtones on your phone? What was your favorite? What was your least favorite? What kind of ringtone was it? Did you have a polyphonic? Did you have a real tone? Or a ringback tone? Or did you make your own custom tones? Because I think people were starting to make custom tones around 2007 or something like that. Let me know. I'm curious to know. And also, nowadays, like in 2024, do you have your own custom ringtones on your phone? Because both Android and iPad and iPhone can do this. If you have your own, I want to know what they are. I'm curious. I love it. I love that I'm able to do this on my own. To me, ringtones are the coolest. I never liked polyphonic or however you say, mono, I don't know how to say that, early ringtone. Those were weird, and I'm glad I didn't really have to use those for very long. But yeah, you guys have any memories, any experiences? Did you guys set ringtones for certain contacts? Let me know. Hit me up on Instagram, WheezyWayniac YM, WEEZY WAYNAC YM. And I really appreciate you guys for listening. Please don't forget, I put out episodes every Monday. And for Lil Wayne fans, Wheezy Media once a month, every month, or as it happens, I need to do one ASAP. But there's not. He's been pretty quiet lately, so I'm gonna have to think of an episode. That's actually pretty easy to do. Anyway, let me know. Ringtones, what was your favorite? Which one probably drove you nuts? Let me know. And again, please don't forget, share, subscribe, download, and make sure your friends do the same. I would really, really appreciate it. I hope everybody has a great week and a great weekend, and I will see you guys on the next episode of Hip Hop in the After Hours. Keep those ringtones on, y'all.